Hey y'all, just wanted to take a little video of we're on our way into a town next to us that's got a seeder or planter, an old farmer's tool to plant the fields. It's an older one. Not actually sure what age it is or even what brand it is, quite honestly, from the pictures, but the price seemed right, and we're gonna go check it out and see if it's something we want. Thinking about turning it into a bar, if you will, for a coffee shop, and be kind of a cool look, you know, having the two wheels on the outside and a wood table between the two, something to that effect anyway. But we'll show it to you and kind of walk you through the process, and you can probably see how I build this thing and how it turns out, and even see where we put it. So come along on our video, and I'll introduce you to my wife, who is along on the ride for the trip.
Hello.
This is Ange, and today we're just out having some fun and, well, doing business stuff. So, well, we're here. We got it loaded. No, you didn't get to see any of that, but you know, I was helping out, so I couldn't run a camera and do that. In theory, that's actually what it is. That's the seeder planter. Some people know it as that. And it's got a tongue that's kind of over sticking the width of my trailer. I'm gonna have to cut that out before I go, but that's okay because it's in the way anyway. And that's kind of what it is. And so in between the wheels here, I'm going to turn that into basically a long bar and cut the wheels a little bit, so a little bit smaller because they're pretty good size. Make it a little bit shorter and make a nice little flat platform in there, so we can sit down, and I'm going to get rid of all of those pieces underneath, and you know, save all that because that's some good steel. So I've decided, as you can see, it's a little wider than my trailer. I'm going to cut that tongue off because it's in the way anyway, and I'll just take this portion of it off, probably right here and here, drop it down for the trip, strap it down. Show you that in a sec. Well, good morning. Back I'm getting that thing, and we're gonna tear into it today. I gotta get it off my trailer, but wanted to give you a better view of what it might actually look like. This is it, end view on my trailer. As you can see, it's got tons of little parts in there, which mostly are gonna come off, but I have to say there's portions of it I actually really do like. There's some of it I don't like, but it's pretty cool. And we got some, like most of this is going to come off of there, but do like it. It's pretty big. I'm going to have to shorten it up a little bit. A little too wide, I think, for a table. It needs to be about a third, I don't know, quarter shorter maybe. Anyway, just thought I'd give you guys a view of that before I unload. I won't bore you with that. It's going to be interesting because I loaded it on the wrong side apparently. I didn't figure that out until I got here, but I can only reach in from one side and it's the wrong side, so I'll figure it out. So here's the aftermath. That is all the undercarriage discs from that seeder. Quite a few of them. Quite a pain to get off. They're actually really good steel. Pretty heavy. I mean, each one of those weighs quite a bit. I don't know, 30 pounds. And I ended up cutting off the majority of them individually just so I could get them off easily. And I'll show you what the just before I'm ready to take it off. So coming into the shop here, taking off all of the undercarriage stuff, all those discs and seaters. And I got it ready to lift up with my Presto, my best friend in my shop. He does all the heavy lifting for me so I don't have to. But I'm basically gonna, if it's not obvious, lift this off of here, roll it back, and pull my trailer out so that I can just set it down basically inside the shop and on the floor. Was it easy? No. Should I have loaded it the other way? Yeah, would have made it a lot easier, but I got it. Took me the better part of a day to get that stuff off of there, so anyway. Sound. Now I gotta prop it up. It's about 13.5 feet. If I remember actually measuring, it's about 13.5, something like that. It needs to be about probably 11 feet total. So I'm gonna cut a section out of the center, take off the top part, of course, cut out a portion of the center, bring it together, re-weld it so it's a little bit shorter. Not totally sure how I'm gonna do the top yet, but that's all part of the game. You got to figure it out as you go along. It's not like people are making these into tables. I'm a moron. So, well, it'll be cool when we're done. Well, that's one brake and gear and clutch all off of there. Unneeded weight, don't need it. Just going to fabricate a piece of steel that had a 1/4 inch that comes down and actually holds the shaft nice and square. Something else I didn't show you is that right wheel was actually canted in. So I pulled it off yesterday, heated up the shaft, bent it back up nice, as plumb as I could with a 100-year-old piece of equipment. Put the wheel back on, it's pretty good. And now my plan is really, I don't know if you can actually see or not, but there's actually a line from there all the way across, and it actually goes to about right there, then goes up and over. You can see that. I'm actually going to cut that off, that full front portion, because this is the side of the cedar that I want the table to be on. It's going to be a table that kind of overhangs, kind of cantilevered, if you will, over the front of this portion of it right here. So it'll be out to about like right here. Probably be like a 2-foot deep table. But I'm going to take that whole thing off, the top sections and everything. They don't need to be on there anymore. It's kind of sad, but they just are in the way. And then I'm actually going to cut it here, like I said, cut this wheel and everything off and the framework, and then this whole brake and you know, clutch assembly and everything. I'm going to cut that off of there too, just like I did on the other side. Add a little plate to actually gusset it up. But I'm actually going to cut this off and move it in so that the wheel is actually right here. And that gives me my length I want, which is about 10.5 feet, which is kind of the space it's going in. And so I'll cut that off, get rid of all this. And now, let me walk around to the other side. Look inside here, and I'm sure the light isn't great, but that's actually obviously where the seeds go into these little augers, if you will, and spit them down the tubes. I'm taking that whole thing out all the way down. This I'm actually going to leave intact, and this is I'm going to redo the logo, which is International Harvester. McCormick is actually what it says on it. And I'm going to leave this. This will be facing a window basically, but it'll actually have, I'm going to cut out some letters that say International Harvester on there and paint them. And most of this I want to leave kind of, you know, it's basic color. I'm going to clean it up obviously, and then leave it kind of the red color because I think it's kind of cool. But this whole section here will be cut off all the way down to here, all the way down along this, and that goes away. And then inside of here there will actually be a table that starts from here, goes all the way out about 2 feet. So this is a foot and then another foot off the outside of that, on the back side like I showed you. So I'll hook up the camera and the tripod and you guys can watch me. I've actually been here, I'll go to the other side, a little better lighting. I've been actually taking these are little feeders for the seed. They spin around and auger basically the seed out of the trough. I've been slowly taking all these little 1/4-inch bolts out. It's been pretty time consuming, but they can't be on there. It's too dangerous if kids are going to be around it, and there will be kids around this, so I don't want anybody losing a finger or getting cut. So I'm taking that off, and I'll just fill it in with either wood or maybe a piece of metal. I'm not sure what yet until I get it off of there. But so that's the cedar augers basically that I just took off of there. And now you can see the hole that's inside the, yeah, so I just got to fill that in. So just as a refresher, I'm on the other side of the cedar soon-to-be bar, and I just got done cutting, you can see it or not, but I just got done cutting right here through that wheel shaft, and I'm going to remove all of this right here. That's kind of why I did that. That's why I cut that off. And just to kind of show you what I did do on the other side, I cut out some pieces, basically just to kind of keep this from moving around, if you will. And I obviously cut out the logo. It's an International Harvester, and just put a piece on the end because this shaft actually has to still spin in here when the wheel's moving, although the wheels aren't going to be moving for much longer. But I'm basically going to do that same thing on the other side over here. And I just wanted to show that to you before I get all carried away.